Kevin Harrington here, original shark from Shark Tank. It's time to make your dream home a reality. The HandyForce is committed to making your home renovations and handyman services stress-free. Now, joining me today is owner Paul Switzeny. And Paul, I want to thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me here.
All right.
Really great to be here.
Well, let's get right to it.
Yes.
What sets HandyForce apart from the competition?
A few things.
Okay.
Training, systemization, software, and support are our main key factors.
And this is all built around home services and handyman services.
Correct.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so they're inherently hard to manage, small projects and homes, because every home is unique and every project's unique. So we actually looked at larger construction companies to see how they manage big projects. And we actually distilled their systems down to fit in the home renovation industry. On top of that, no software existed that took care of every aspect of this, including things like scheduling and quoting and accounting and task management in the handyman industry.
Wow.
So we actually wrote our own platform to do that.
That's fantastic. So you got the systems, and this is good for the homeowners then that need your service. You mentioned big contractors, and so I'm just thinking, how do you manage quotes and manage the projects?
Definitely, it's a great question. So again, when we manage a project, the actual project management starts from the beginning, right from the first phone call, and managing customer expectations and really getting a good idea of what good looks like for them. So when our quoters actually go out and quote the project, they're really focused on that grand vision for the client. And from there, our software actually really helps them fill in the blanks. They're just there to fill in the steps of what needs to be done.
Nice.
And the software actually builds all the quote and the pricing and calculates it for them. Once that's done, the project manager takes it over and sort of gets that project to fruition. He already has a job plan because in the background, the system was already creating that plan step by step, who needs to be there, what level of skill level, what material, each day of the project. So they can very quickly see where things are at, where things are on track, if things are falling behind, and update the client.
You have professionalized the handyman and the home services business very powerfully, and congratulations on that. But how else has HandyForce changed the industry?
First of all, we started with a dedicated project manager for every job, no matter how small. And we do small. We'll hang a shelf for somebody.
Okay.
But there's still a dedicated project manager who's calling and making sure that they're happy with the shelf and the installation went well and everything was clean. That's a major, major differentiator, even at that micro level. And the project manager is not the person actually doing the work. The other thing we looked at the trades industry as a whole, there's a big problem with labor and people getting into the industry and not being too keen on being part of the industry. So we really looked at new people coming into the industry and said, well, there are people maybe who don't fit in the normal education system, get into the workforce and a little bit lost. And it actually was inspired by a guy who came into the office years ago. It was maybe 2012. We had just started the company. He sat down in the office and he said, Paul, I made some mistakes in my life. I'm living in a shelter. My parents kicked me out. I got no money. I have no tools, no experience. He's like, but I'm going to make you a promise. I will come in every day, stick my nose down, and work really, really hard for you. And I thought that is a hell of a sales pitch.
Yeah.
His name was Jordan, and what happened was he was the inspiration for what we call the Master Handyman Certified program.
Oh, wow.
And what that is an 8-step training program that's very, very hands-on, where we take people who come into the industry that have the right attitude, and we help them develop their skills. And as they go, they get pay increases, so it's very, very motivating for them to stay. We help develop their whole lives. So at the end of it, Jordan, several years later, had a full armament of tools. He was living on his own. He had his own car. He was saving money. The guy had his act together, and I'm so bloody proud of the guy.
Unbelievable.
And he became the model. So we really try to take that same plan and transpose it onto new people coming into the industry to really give them a setup for success for their lives.
Right, because you're now franchising the business.
Correct.
And so you've taken this system that you've created for your own employees and had big success with that.
Yes.
And then you said, let us show the rest of the world how to do this. So somebody right now, a franchisee that might want to own their own business and have access to this very sophisticated program that you've developed, do they need any special skills? Do they need to have handy skills, that type of thing?
No, quite the opposite. So when I got into the industry, I had no trades experience. And that was actually my edge in a sort of an odd way.
Okay.
Because what happens is in the trades, if you get a quote for something around your home, often the quotes will be full of trade lingo, and a lot of homeowners are very intimidated by that, and they don't want to ask the questions for feeling inadequate or something. So we actually try to take that sting out of it, and that was my edge, is that I could communicate in a very clean, simple, homeowner-centric way. In addition to that, what happens is my view as a homeowner, it may be very different of what clean looks like than somebody from the trades industry. So all of my standards and how I view things from a homeowner's perspective were directly injected into the company and our standards.
Right.
So we're very different from that.
That's awesome. I mean, people that are out there looking for an opportunity, this sounds like a great one because, first of all, people need services around their house. This is just something that Everyone's going to need it. So you've got a great service, and you've put a fantastic system together, and you're able to train folks on how to get into business, own their own business, utilizing your services. So
Yes.
awesome opportunity. I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thanks,
Paul.
Kevin.
Thank you so much. And you definitely need to visit thehandyforce.com and get information on how you can become a business owner with Paul in the HandyForce business. Thank you.